Welcome back, YouTube yogis. Emma here. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another yoga practice. Let's go ahead and get started today in a standing forward fold. Feel free to grab blocks for your practice if you would like. I do not have blocks here, so they're not mandatory, but you're always welcome to grab them. Depending on how your hamstrings are feeling, put a generous or a small bend in your knees. You can either let the arms hang heavy or grab opposite elbows if you're ready for that. If you're feeling pretty flexible but want a little support, you could always place your forearms on blocks and kind of dump your weight a little bit forward. Wherever you are in relation to your breath, let's exhale, empty the lungs completely. Draw a slow breath in through your nose, feel your sternum, pull a little bit forward, fill up the back of your lungs. Exhale, push your ribs back into your thighs and fold. Empty your lungs entirely. We'll do that again. Inhale, feel a little lift of your chest. Fill up the back side with air. Exhale, push all that air out. Head sinking. 2 more. Last one. Release your arms. Let's walk the hands over to the right side. Put a little bend in your right knee and pull your left hip crease back. Think about the outer left armpit going towards the inner right ankle. Breathe in and out through your nose, Ujjayi Pranayama. And then walk your hands over to the left. Little bend in the left knee, outer right hip pulling back. Relax your neck and your jaw. Walk your hands back through center. Put a little bend in the knees and slowly ragdoll yourself all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders out a few times when you get to the top. Squeeze your legs. Roll the shoulders both directions. And then circle out your neck one direction to start. Just let the arms hang by the side. And take those circles in the other direction. We'll meet with a neutral spine. Reach both arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Option to grab your ankles. Inhale, lift up halfway. Plant your hands. Let's step back, right foot, left foot to plank pose. Draw some small clockwise circles with the shoulders over the wrists. Try not to pike your hips up or dip the hips side to side. Keep everything nice and level. Gazing down, lift the back of your skull. Take those circles counterclockwise. Draw your navel up and in, tone your belly. Meet neutral position, shift forward, gaze forward, 5 counts to your belly, 4. Feel free to drop your knees, 3. Hug your elbows in, 2. And 1. All the way down, take your right arm out to the right, roll onto your right shoulder, step your left foot behind you. You can rest your head on the mat or use your left hand as a pillow. The more you press down with your right palm, you'll feel a greater stretch across your right chest. Roll back onto your stomach and we'll switch. Left arm goes out to the left, palm down. Roll onto your left shoulder, step your right foot behind. Side 2 might feel a bit different, so don't feel like the poses have to look identical side to side. Roll Roll back onto your stomach. Let's go arms out in a cactus or goalpost shape. Press down with the tops of your feet. On your inhale, lift your chest and then your arms. You might even crawl the ribs a little further forward. Think about making space between the rib cage. Pull your chin towards your throat so the back of your neck is nice and long. Sweep your arms behind you and make a bind. Pull your knuckles towards your heels. Pull your chin towards your throat. Press your pubic bone down. 3, 2, 1. Forehead to the ground. Plant your palms in line with your ribs. Inhale, roll up, cobra pose. Feel a little spread in the shoulder blades, even though it's a back bend. So you can feel space across the shoulder blades and the collarbones. Take your knees wide, child's pose. Sink back towards your heels. Pull the bottom ribs up and in. Push into your palms so the forearms lift off the mat. Breathe in and out of your nose. Inhale, shift forward to tabletop. Bump your knees under your hips. Inhale, drop your belly, cow pose, look up. Exhale, round your back, tuck your tailbone, gaze for your navel, cat pose. Again, inhale, cow pose. Pull your sternum through, look up. Exhale, round, push your shin bones and tops of your ankles down. Again, cow pose, breath in. This time as you round your back for cat pose, really press into the tops of your feet. Hover your knees an inch or 2 off the mat. Squeeze your low belly. Imagine holding a block between your thighs or your knees. Drop your knees down. Inhale, cow pose, look up. Exhale, that hovering cat pose. Press down with the tops of the feet. Squeeze your belly. Dome your upper back. 2 more, knees down. Inhale, cow. Exhale, hovering cat pose. 1 more, inhale, cow. Exhale, hovering cat pose, hold 5. Shift your shoulders forward over your wrists, 4. Round your back, tuck your chin, 3, 2. Try to stay on the tops of your feet as you lift your hips up, stretch the tops of your feet and your ankles, and then you can flip 1 foot at a time into downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out your legs here, bend and straighten 1 at a time. Adjust your hands as needed, so they should be about shoulder width or a little wider. Your wrist crease is parallel with the front of the mat. Feel a reaching sensation through your arms, spreading the shoulder blades. Find some stillness in downward facing dog. The heels don't have to touch the mat, but if they do, bump them out slightly so the inner thighs roll back. Lift your heels, look forward, step with your right foot, then your left foot to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, walk your right hand down your right leg, side bend over to the right, left palm facing down. Inhale, back to center, palms touch. Exhale, side bend to the left, the right palm facing down, squeeze your belly. Inhale, back to center, reach up. Exhale, fold over your legs, feel free to bend your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms down, push the floor away, step back, left foot, right foot, shift forward. Drop your knees, lower your chest and chin to the ground. Hips slide down, chest pulls forward, cobra pose. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Press down with the inner palm between your thumb and pointer finger. Feel your arms get longer, reaching through your sides. Breathe with sound. Lift your heels, look forward, step left foot, right foot to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. We're gonna add on, inhale, center. Exhale, cactus your arms and lean back. Light toes, hips forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, half lift. Step back, left foot, then right foot. Lower with your exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, low belly squeeze, downward facing dog. Feel a little more space, more ease each time you come back. Heels might get closer to the ground. Imagine squeezing that block between your inner thighs. Lift your heels, look forward, step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, fold forward. Rise to stand. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Cactus arms, lean back. We're adding on again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend knees, sweep arms back. Squeeze your triceps, draw your bottom ribs in, pull your chin to your throat. Straight legs, rise, look up, connect your palms. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back or jump back, chaturanga with your exhale. If you're stepping, just alternate which foot goes first each time to keep it even. Firm your quadriceps, especially the upper thighs where they meet your hips. You can gaze at your feet, thighs, or belly button, wherever feels best on your neck. One more breath here. Look forward, step or jump, front of your space. Halfway lift, fold forward. Rise, reach up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Cactus arms, lean back. Inhale, reach. Bend your knees, sweep your arms. Pause here. Stay low, bring your knees back and your shins back. Sink the weight into your heels, but keep your toes on the mat. Reach up, Utkatasana 5. Low belly squeeze, gaze forward or gaze up, 3. Straighten your arms, 2. 1, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back or jump back, Vinyasa, following the pace of your breath. Gaze forward as you lower. Let's lift the right leg up behind us. Bend your knees, stack your hips open, kick your heel to your butt a few times, and then circle out the right hip in both directions. Square this off and crunch your right knee to your nose, dome your upper back. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. I like to bend the left knee as well, so it's a figure 4 bear or figure 4 down dog. Flex your right toes and push your right shin bone back. Lift up through your outer hips just like down dog. Lengthen through your sides, push into your hands. Look forward, step your right foot up directly between your thumbs, spin your back foot flat, and open up to a warrior two. Bend and straighten into your right leg a few times. Pause with your right knee bent, reverse warrior. Reach up and back. Try to look up at your top hand. Keep sinking your left hip. Side angle pose. Rest your right elbow on your right thigh to start. The left arm reaches directly up. Scoop your right glute underneath you. Then go ahead and extend your top arm if that feels all right. Feel the outer left armpit wrap forward. Your left palm is down or the left pinky is down. Let's sweep this over to the back of the mat into a Skandasana, left knee bending. Flex your right toes. And then let's walk those hands forward on this first one. Usually we want a nice straight spine here, but I want you to think about rounding your back here. Tailbone going down, chin dropping to your chest. Last two. And one. Flip this around to the back of your mat. Bend and straighten into your left leg a few times. Pause in a runner's lunge. Start to sink your hips so you feel a nice stretch on that right hip flexor, then drop your right knee to the ground. Reach both arms up, Asana B. Interlace your palms up top, release your index fingers and draw an imaginary line on the ceiling. Press the top of your right foot and shin bone down. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, chaturanga, you're facing the back of your mat. Inhale, cobra, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up behind you. Bend your knees, stack your hips, kick your heel to your butt a few times. And circle it out both directions. We'll square this off, crunch your left knee to your nose, round your upper back. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. You can bend your right knee or keep it straight. Outer hips lifting, long sides. Pull the bottom ribs in, avoid dumping into your shoulders. Look forward, step left foot between your thumbs. Spin your back foot flat, open up warrior two. Bend and straighten your left leg a few times. Pause with your left knee bent, flip your left palm, reverse warrior. Shift your gaze up. Keep your weight in your left heel, left ball of the foot, lighter toes. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Start with the elbow thigh, right arm reaching up. Feel space across your collarbones and your shoulder blades. Option to extend your top arm. Think about firming down the outer edge of your right foot, right palm or pinky down. Flying monkey pose at the front of your mat. Deeply bend your right knee. Feel free to widen your stance here. Squeeze your left leg. So you can almost be able to see if your left leg is engaged or not. If you look at your knee and you're disengaged, you don't see a lot. If you squeeze, you feel the kneecap, see the kneecap lift up. Walk your hands forward, round your back, keep that engagement in your left leg, almost like a half yogi squat. Walk your hands towards the front of your mat. Bend and straighten your right leg a few times. Pause in a runner's lunge, sinking your hips, keeping your left leg as straight as possible to get that nice stretch on your left hip flexor. Slowly lower your left knee to the ground and reach up, Asana B. Interlace your hands opposite, release your index finger. Hug your biceps to your ears and lean back without dumping into the low back. So keep pushing down into the right heel. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands, step back, and lower. Inhale up. Exhale down, dog. Notice if your breath feels choppy or shallow. This is a great time to come back to it. We're gonna add on to that, just like we kind of added on to that very first Sun A sequence we did. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, crunch, right knee nose. Figure 4, down dog, inhale. Exhale, right foot step between. Inhale, reverse warrior, all the way up. Exhale, side angle, option to extend your top arm. Inhale, Skandasana at the back of your mat. Exhale, pivot, runner. Bump your right foot to the right and come up, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, sweep your arms back and squeeze your triceps. Lift your left side ribs. Straighten your left leg. Reach both arms up. So you really have to squeeze your belly, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. It's like a straight leg crescent warrior. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upwards. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up, inhale. Exhale, crunch. Left ankle over the thigh, inhale. Exhale, step between. Inhale all the way up, reverse warrior, slow down your breath. Exhale, side angle, option to extend. Inhale, Skandasana, front of the mat. Exhale, pivot to the front, runner, widen your stance. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach up. Exhale, hinge and sweep, feel a little twist to the right. Squeeze your legs, straight legs rise, reach up. Feel your kneecaps lift. Exhale, rebend, step back, Vinyasa. All right, so we're gonna start to leave something off in the beginning and add on more to the end. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, step. Inhale, reverse warrior, so leaving out that crunch. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, pivot to the back. Crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, sweep your arms. One leg mountain pose. Inhale, rise to stand on your left leg. Squeeze your left glute. Flex your right foot. Take a breath in. Now we're adding the figure 4 here. Sweep your arms back. Flex your right toes. Push your right shin bone back. Gaze downwards towards the ground. Come back up, one leg mountain pose, right knee up. Inhale. Exhale, step back, warrior 2, face the back of your mat. Straighten your left leg, reverse triangle, lift your ribs off your hip. Exhale, chaturanga at the back of your mat. Inhale, upwards. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, step between your thumbs. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, Skandasana at the front. Exhale, pivot to the front, runner. Crescent lunge, rise. Exhale, sweep your arms. One leg mountain pose. Inhale, rise to stand on your right leg. Squeeze your right glute. Take another inhale. Exhale, we're adding the figure 4 here. Sweep your arms back. Straight legs come back up, left knee lift, level your pelvis. Take a long step back, warrior 2. Straight legs, reverse. Exhale, Vinyasa. Inhale up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. All right, adding on a little bit in between here. Lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale, step between your thumbs. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, Skandasana, back of your mat. Exhale, pivot, runner. Crescent lunge, rise. Exhale, sweep your arms. Inhale, one leg mountain pose. Exhale, figure four, pause. Take your left hand to your left waist, your right peace sign fingers to your big toe. As you stand up, take your right leg out to the right. If the big toe doesn't work, grab your knee instead. Try not to lift your right hip higher than your left hip. Kick your inner heel forward. Inhale. Exhale, back to figure four. Inhale, one leg mountain pose. Exhale, step back, warrior two. Straight legs, reverse. Exhale, chaturanga, step back. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Left side, last time, inhale. Exhale, step between. All the way up, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, Skandasana, front of the mat. Exhale, pivot, runner. Crescent lunge, rise. Exhale, sweep your arms. One leg mountain pose, inhale. Figure four, exhale, pause. Right hand to the right waist. Left peace sign fingers, grab the big toe. Stand up and take your left leg to the left. The knee works just as well. Kick your inner heel forward. Lift the back of your skull. One more breath. Coming back to your figure four, left ankle over right thigh. Inhale, one leg mountain pose, left knee up. Exhale, step back, warrior two. Straight legs, reverse. Exhale, Vinyasa. Drop down to your forearms. So the forearms are parallel, palms down, dolphin pose. Hips high, gazing back at the feet. You don't want your head touching the mat. You're pushing down so much into the forearms that your head should be floating off the ground. Stay here or start to lift your right leg up, look between your thumbs and take 5 little hops. 5, 4, start with split legs. 3, keep looking between your thumbs. 2, and 1. If you're holding, great, otherwise hops with the left leg first for 5. Gaze between your thumbs. 4, start with split legs. 3, tone your belly. 2, and 1. Knees together, arms by your side, child's pose. Feel space between the shoulders. Breathe into your lower back. Lift your torso, keep your knees together, bring your feet out wide. You can grab your calf muscles and roll them outwards. Option to sit on a block or an elevated surface. If this is too much, to sit down in between your feet. You want the toes pointing back. We are trying to not let the knees splay out too much. Stay here if this is enough sensation. If you want more, drop back onto your forearms. Maybe all the way back onto your shoulders, Supta Virasana, reclining hero's pose. Option to reach for the elbows. If you start to feel too much intensity, especially in your knees, that's a good sign, an indication to come out of the pose, or at least back off a little bit. If you don't feel a lot, think about squeezing the knees towards each other and pushing the knees down and forward. Last 3. 2, and 1. Begin to lift yourself back up. We'll meet in a tabletop position and then tap out the feet. Tuck your toes and find downward facing dog. You might even like to pedal out the legs a little bit here. Lift your right leg up behind you, bend your knees, stack your hips open, stay here or shift forward and flip yourself over to wild thing. You're trying to land softly, so you don't want to flop into our shapes. Just like once we get to a warrior 2, we don't just let the arms hang heavy. Everything is active and intentional. Slowly flip this around, crunch your right knee across your body and kick it out, fall in triangle. Spin your back foot flat and then extend your left arm beyond the front of your mat. Try to plug your right hip back underneath your left hip. Squeeze your left leg. Left hand down, find pigeon pose, slide your right knee behind your right wrist. Left toes point directly back behind you. You can stay upright, take it down to the forearms, or feel free to use props here. Try to find the bottom of each breath. One more. Begin to walk your hands back towards you. Roll onto your right hip and swing your left leg around. Right foot to the inner left thigh. Reach your arms up. Fold over your left leg, Janu Shirshasana. Drop your right armpit just a tad. Flex your left toes. Feel that right thigh roll back. One more breath. Lift your torso, release your grip, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, seated figure 4. Push your low back in. I like the hands behind me. The closer your left foot is to your glute, and the closer your chest is to your right shin, the more intensity you'll feel here. Push your right shin bone forward, flex your toes for 3, 2, and take your left foot to your right glute, put your right foot on the mat, Ardha Matsyadrasana. Make sure both sitting bones find the ground, so if you need to extend your left leg straight instead, go for it. Inhale, left arm reach up, exhale, twist over to the right. Push your right palm or fingertips into the mat behind you and look back over your right shoulder. Keep pressing the ball of your right foot down for 3, 2, now keep both sitting bones on the mat. Unwind and plant your hands off to the left, counter twist. Now, I'll be the first to say, I learned something new. So when I usually taught counter twist, I would usually lift this right glute up off the ground and dip down, but keeping this right sitting bone on the mat and just twisting from the torso, you feel it a lot more in your spine. So that's something new that I learned recently. So I want you to keep this right sitting bone down when we do that counter twist. You won't be able to go as far. Then you can lift that right sitting bone up. You'll keep traveling over to the left until you're facing the back of the mat in tabletop. Tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up behind you and bend your knee. Stack your hips open, stay there, or shift forward and slow flip it over into wild thing. Again, land softly. Push your hips towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. So kind of on a diagonal angle. Left hand down, crunch your left leg through, kick it out, fall in triangle. Back foot spins flat. Draw that left hip back underneath the right hip. Think triangle pose, top arm extending. Right hand down, pigeon pose on the left. Make sure the right toes are pointing directly back. Walk down forearms, props, anything you need here. It doesn't have to look the same as the other side. Keep that control of your breath. Last two. Walk your hands back towards you, roll onto your left hip, swing your right leg around, place your left foot at your inner right thigh, reach both arms up, and fold over your right leg. You can grab foot, ankle, shin, or a wrist. Drop your left armpit. Again, feel a slight twist to the right. Lift your torso back up. Cross left ankle over right thigh, seated figure four. Avoid rounding your back here, so you can always walk the right foot forward for a little less intensity. The more like bunched up you are, the more intensity you'll feel on that outer left glute, piriformis. Think about the left knee going forward, lift your sternum, push in behind your heart. Draw your right foot to your left glute, put your left foot on the mat, make sure both sitting bones find the ground, so adjust if you need. Reach your right arm up and hook it around. Push your left fingertips or palm into the mat behind you. Look back over your left shoulder. Press the ball of your left foot down for 3. Left sitting bone down, 2. And 1, unwind. Keep this left glute, left sitting bone on the mat as you put your hands off to the right. You're just kind of bringing out the torso in the opposite direction. So you won't be able to dip down or go as far. This time, I want you to start unwinding to the left. Swing that top leg, left leg around towards the front of your mat. Your bottom leg goes towards the back of your mat, so you're in a wide leg seat. Flex both feet and walk your hands directly down the middle. Feel the inner thighs go up and the outer thighs go down. It's not about how far you fold. Try to keep the integrity, the squeeze of the legs. So you're gonna feel like you're trying to push your femur bones down, roll the inner thighs up, pull your sternum forward, 3. 2. 1, lift your torso, swing your right leg to meet your left leg, lie down onto your back and hug your knees into your chest. Rock gently side to side. Feet flat, arms by your side. We'll do 2 back bends here, starting with bridge pose. Squeeze that imaginary block between your knees. Drive your heels down, lift your hips up. So something new I also learned was that you do want to maintain that natural curvature of your spine. So I used to always say, scoop your tailbone forward, like gluing your low back to the mat. Now I know there's different styles and lineages of yoga, different ways to do poses, but maybe today just try to keep that natural curvature of your spine. You're still letting the ribs fall down and in, embracing your core, and then squeeze your glutes like 50%, so not all the way. Let the legs do more of the work. And lower your hips down, take a breath. One more back bend. I'll guide you through upward facing bow. Plant your hands beside your head, fingers towards your feet. Drive your heels down, lift your hips, push into your hands. Even though it's a back bend, I still want you to feel space across your shoulder blades. It's gonna help you to get the shoulder rotation that we want. Press down on your inner palms like we do in downward facing dog because we are working towards that same external shoulder rotation. Push your knees forward, your chest back. Make sure the toes don't turn outwards for 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin, lower yourself down to the ground and hug your knees into your chest. Keep your right leg in, extend your left leg long on the ground. Pull your right knee a little bit down towards your right armpit. Keep both shoulder blades heavy, left glute, sitting bone heavy. Then we'll guide the right knee across the body for a supine twist. Look off to the right. Right palm down if the arm is straight, or palm up if it's in a cactus shape. Instead of forcing the right knee down to the ground, think about the outer right hip going forward. So the hips are really stacked. You feel more of a wringing out sensation in your spine. One more breath. Unwind onto your back, hug both knees in. Keep your left leg in, extend your right leg long, pull your left knee a little bit down into the left. Guide your left knee across your body, left arm reach to the left. Straight arm palm down or bent arm palm up. The outer left hip going towards the inner right ankle. So think about when we do like standing twists or even revolve triangle. We want the pelvis nice and level. That's the same idea here. One more breath. Unwind onto your back and hug both knees in. Take a happy baby pose. Grab your feet, ankles, or the backs of your knees. Gentle tuck of your chin. Pull your tailbone down. It might feel nice to straighten one leg at a time. If and when you're ready, extend your legs, sprawl your arms. Relax physically, energetically. Soften a little bit more. Feel free to place something over your eyes, move things out of the way to minimize distraction. Take a breath in, and exhale, sigh, release your breath control. Total rest, Savasana. slowly start to come back. Notice your fingers, your toes. Send a gentle wiggle there. And let that movement spread to the wrists and the ankles. Maybe take your head side to side. Stretch your arms overhead, lengthen your body. Point your toes. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Roll to your right or left side as a way to come up to a comfortable seat. We'll keep the eyes closed, attention inwards as much as possible. Draw your hands to your heart center, rest your thumbs at your sternum. Think about breathing up and down your spine. Take a breath in. Exhale completely. Namaste. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide and for choosing to practice with me today. It is truly an honor to guide you through your yoga practice. I appreciate you viewing my content. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you feel called to donate to help support my channel and the equipment I use to film. You can hit the PayPal link below. That's super helpful, but never required, always appreciated. I will see you back next week for another free YouTube yoga class.